Just 50 years ago, this area was little more than farmland, surrounded by gated communities where black people were not even allowed. But those days are over. Today, Sandton has transformed into the most prosperous square mile on the African continent. This area on the left is a bus pickup stop?
No, it's a bicycle lane.
Okay. This part of the city, is there a specific name for this part of the city?
No, this is just central. It's called Sandton Central.
Okay.
Because everything is centered around this shopping mall. So this area around here is Sandton Central.
Okay.
You want me to play you something?
I'm sorry, no.
What,
Sorry,
you are
sorry.
doing something?
Sorry.
All right, cool.
And this area right here?
So this is the bus station
Okay.
and the taxi station and the train station all in one.
Okay. Why is it so dark in there?
I don't know why they actually don't put lights. There's not a lot of lights inside.
Okay, now this is the Gao train entrance,
It's
right?
the entrance to the station. So if you go down, you're entering the train station. If you go up, going to the bus and taxi station.
Ah. And how many stops on that train?
So from where it starts off in Park Station, there's the park. It's the Park Station. It's Rosebank. It's this station. It's the Marlborough Station, Midrand Station, Centurion Station, Pretoria Station, and Hatfield in Pretoria. So
Okay.
those are all the stations on the route.
And the airport, right?
And there's a route to the airport. That's a different route, which breaks off here at Sandton. It goes through Marlborough, Rhodesfield, and then the airport. I'm
Okay.
not sure if there's a station I'm missing in that route.
It's not very many people today.
Legit. maybe later on there are going to be more.
Okay. Because I remember the last time I came here, there was tons of people around the gambling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a big thing in South Africa. Gambling is a big thing.
Yeah. Honestly, like they recently legalized it in the US, sports betting and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And online gambling, I think that was a mistake. It's an addiction just like
It
drugs.
is. It is. Because at a point where apparently one of the biggest gambling sites in the world, Betway, gets about 50% of its revenue just in South Africa.
Oh my
Of
gosh.
its global revenue.
That's
Just in
insane.
South Africa.
That's insane. Where's that company based?
I think in Asia, if I'm not mistaken.
So that's money they're just taking out of the economy.
Yes.
And giving nothing back except addiction.
A part of it back, those little winnings that people do actually get.
Huh?
Those bit of winnings that people actually get.
Do people win a lot?
No, they do, but I wouldn't say they actually. Some people actually live off this.
Really?
Yeah, they literally wake up in the morning, bets in the morning, bet during the day, bets at night, and they make enough money to get by. But when you look at the amount of effort and the amount of money they put in, I don't think it's worth it. And there's obviously a whole lot more people who lose continuously.
Yeah.
You're always losing.
I think it'll look prettier from that side.
That's like
So, Sandton, was most of this built before or after apartheid?
well, before and after. So probably half of it has been built before, and then the other half after. And also, there's a lot of buildings that have been torn down and new buildings built. So it's an ever-changing landscape. Because you find that where that building was, there used to be a building, they tore it down and then built a new building.
Yeah.
So how it looks like is mostly post-apartheid.
Okay.
But you do find buildings like the shopping center, which was built in 1973.
This
that
one
still
right here.
stands. Yes, the entire shopping center. Mostly on this side. That was built before. That was built in the 1970s. That hasn't changed. But around the buildings around have changed over the years.
Now, being that Sandton is the richest square mile in Africa, what types of people live here?
People working in professional industries, so banking, engineering, architecture, those type of lines of work. A lot of business people. They probably are the biggest chunk of people, and also some politicians actually live within the Sandton area, and a lot of diplomats actually live in the Sandton area.
Okay. Now, on TV, we usually hear that most of the rich people in South Africa are white. Is that true?
Yes, it is true. Yes, it is true.
Even now.
Though the gap is closing and has been closing over the past 20, 30 years, but it's still predominantly white people who are wealthy.
Okay.
So there's a growing number of people of other races who are becoming wealthy.
Now, I know there's some kind of like affirmative action policy
Yes.
here. Is that necessary?
It is necessary because of how wide the gap is between the races. We find that we're known as the country with the highest inequality. We find that there's a very small group of people that own a large portion of South Africa's wealth. So it is quite important, but how it's done is a question that differs from one person to the other on how they see it, if it's done correctly or incorrectly.
Do you think it's done correctly?
Yes and no. Yes and no.
Okay.
Yes and no.
So is it a quota system or like
Yes,
how does
it
the
is-
system
it is-
work?
It is a quota system, and especially in business, there's what we call triple BEE. So it's broad-based Black economic empowerment, where in order to get certain government contracts, you need to have a certain percentage of Black ownership, and yeah, that's how it normally works on that front.
That's what Elon Musk was.
Yes.
Man about. Hello. And this tower on the left is a Michelangelo, right?
So?
This is the Michelangelo.
Yes, Michelangelo hotels. So there's a group of hotels named after important figures in the art industry from long ago. So you have the Michelangelo, you have the Leonardo, and you have the Raphael hotels.
Funny thing about here, it's gonna be a little bit hard to get a thumbnail. Usually for my thumbnails, I get a shot with like a pretty chick, but there's hardly anyone in the streets.
Ah, ke TV na.
Hello.
Where's WeWork?
Yeah, I thought WeWork went out of business. Actually, let me get that.
Yeah, but they still have a couple of apparently places around the world where it's still active, and South Africa is one of them because there's one here, there's one in Waterfall, and the one in Rosebank. No, it's not Rosebank, but there are still a couple of them that are still running.
Oh, that's interesting. Do people like use it?
Yes,
It's like a co-working space, right?
It is a co-working space. People do use it.
Those are things that I can't compromise with.
It's a tough building to capture. It's
Yeah.
so long.
Oh yeah. Are people satisfied with the Chinese cars?
They seem to be.
When did they?
The sales are actually hurting some of the brands that were already prominent in the country. So brands like BMW and Mercedes, Audi. I know Mazda's also is struggling a lot.
Well, I guess the question with the Chinese cars is the longevity. Like, how long will they last?
That's something that we'll see as time goes.
Yeah.
Are you a big petrol head?
I used to be. Like when I was in high school, I was obsessed with cars.
Because there's an auto show. So literally, it's the biggest auto show on the continent,
Really?
and it's happening this weekend.
Oh, what time?
So it's on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's at the Kyalami racetrack, which is in Kenya.
Oh, they have a racetrack here.
Yeah, we're actually bidding to get back into F1.
Really?
We used to be in F1 in the 1970s, so they've just upgraded the racetrack to be at the current F1 level status. Then they've already started bidding to get back into F1. So probably maybe 2027, we might be back in F1.
That's awesome.
So it's literally just like a whole bunch of car brands showcasing the cars that they currently have or introducing to the market.
Okay.
There's like racetrack laps. It's just a whole bunch of stuff.
What do people think about American cars here?
Well, it's a mixed review. It really depends on who you're talking to. So I'd say it's literally a 50-50 of either people like them or dislike them, or because of social media have a perception that most Americans are dumb. You know? But there's also love at the same time where we actually relate on a lot of things.
Okay, so that whole thing about Americans being dumb, I'm very interested in that. So what's the story with that?
I think it's largely the way that a number of Americans actually present themselves on social media.
Okay.
Firstly, always there's the thing of considering Africa as one country, you know? Whereas it's 50 plus countries that make up the continent. There's the thing, largely geography, not understanding geography.
Okay, so people say that a lot, but like, I don't think that people here understand geography any better than Americans. Like, so whenever I hear that, I say, okay, tell me where Jamaica is. And normally they'll say Jamaica is in Africa. So I don't know why.
Not.
Yeah, so I don't know why everyone's always focused on Americans with that. I think that's just a thing with a lot of people. And then also, I think Europeans in particular are obsessed with criticizing America. It's like everything America, 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 Americans this, that.
And also they get, this is actually a Trevor Noah joke that he says apparently some guy asked him. He's like, oh, where are you from? And he's like, I'm from South Africa. And he asked him, do you know so-and-so from Ghana? I have a friend from Ghana. And he's like, listen, man.
Yeah, that's something.
Ghana's on another side of the continent. And literally, I don't even know everyone from our own city.
Yeah.
Like everyone else.
Yeah. And now, I do agree with you on the, the whole, what's her name, Tyler thing, where they're trying to force her to identify as something that she's not. Like, a lot of people think that the whole world should operate on the same rules as the U.S. I think we're done here.
Did you capture this? I think we should get on the other side so we can get this out.
After 30 minutes. You know, actually, so so far, my videos have been, I think, overly architectural. Not enough people.
Yeah.
But we'll head out. Do you think Joburg will be busy at this time? Like
it's
CBD?
Busier than here, but obviously not as busy as it gets later on in the day. So most of the time it's busy around 12, 1, going up to around 3.
Okay. We'll start filming around that time then. About 12. Okay.
We could go to Braamfontein, which is on the way there. And there's a whole lot of students moving around throughout the day.
Okay.
So whatever time it is, it's always like students walking around.
That's near Melville, right?
That's near, so Braamfontein is near Melville and near Newtown.
Okay.
So it's in between Melville and Newtown. It's actually closer to Newtown than Melville.
Okay.
We drove past through it when we when we were in the Uber going to Newtown.
Okay. So let's go back to the hotel and let me change the battery and check this footage to see how it came out, and then we'll continue. Now, okay, this American geography thing, other than like that Trevor Noah skit, why do people think that?
I don't know. It's largely social media. So you always get, and obviously social media is not a representative of Americans, because I've met quite a number of Americans who know and understand the world very well. You know, it's also a thing of, it's mostly social media where there's these videos that always pop up of a guy asking, so can you name so many countries in Europe, and that person will just say London instead of England and stuff like that.
Are you talking about
a lot of those videos?
Like from the past, like, you know, Jimmy Kimmel? I know Jimmy Kimmel, or one of those late night guys did a thing like that. Is that what you're referencing to?
I've seen that, yes, but also like generally on social media, there's just, if I come across a video, I'll send the video.
Okay, yeah.
Where they'll just ask a random question on, so what are the countries that border the USA? And you'll find someone who won't even tell you that it's Canada and Mexico.
Yeah. Interesting.
So there's a perception that like life is limited, and then people get excited when Americans now pick up on South African music, and then it's like, oh, okay.
Well, see, that's the thing. Like, the stereotype is just not true.
It's not true. All stereotypes aren't true.
Yeah.
But there is sometimes a level of truth, and then there's also sometimes someone pushing a certain stereotype for their own benefit.
Yeah.
That makes it become a stereotype.
So one thing that I think is a big factor is, like, people kind of expect so much from Americans. Like, okay, if you went to some random guy in Soweto or Alexandria, right? Yeah. You wouldn't expect them to know about the capital of Uzbekistan. Like, you wouldn't expect that. But it's like, people expect so much from just random Americans. But I'm sure the ones, like, okay, the Americans you actually meet, like, out of 10 Americans you've actually met, how many of them fit the stereotypes?
0, actually.
Yeah.
To my experience, 0.
And then there's also the stereotype that Americans are so, like, proud of their country, like, overly patriotic. Do you get that one too? Like, Americans think they're the best country in the world?
Yes. That is also another stereotype that's quite out there.
That one really confuses me, because most of the time, now I'm on the patriotic side, but most Americans seem to hate their country. Like, they complain about healthcare, and they say our food is so bad. It's not. The food is the same as anywhere else. So I don't know. Do you not see those complaints on social media?
We do. I actually do, but they're not as prominent as Americans saying we are Americans.
Like, were you talking about, like, Donald Trump, or were you talking about regular people?
Both.
Okay.
So both in the political landscape and the general public.
So what types of things do you see?
Things like America is the best country.
People say that?
Things like people like to say that Americans are loud. When they get to a place, they're actually very loud.
I believe that one.
That I've experienced.
Yeah.
Where you're at a place and you might be looking down, and then you're going to hear
this accent.
Yes.
Yeah.
Confidence. Very confident. Which I think is a nice thing.
Yeah.
I actually think it's a nice thing. It's a little weird when you come across someone who's just like all closed up and...
Yeah, not pleasant.
Yeah, it's not pleasant. So the confident parts is something that I really like. And that is... I think that's something that Americans show in different forms. Like the confidence in music, the confidence in their acting, the confidence in how they themselves to people. So when they come up to you, you won't have someone like I am so I'm saying like I didn't hear you. But come up and with confidence. Hi.
Yeah.
I'm so and so from this place. How are
Okay.
you doing? So
Yeah.
confidence is something.
Now, how would
I
you?
think that I think we have that in common.
Yeah.
Because South Africans also tend to be very confident.
Yeah. Now, when it comes to whites, what's the difference you've noticed between white Americans and white South Africans?
There's quite a wide landscape. Well, not a wide landscape, but there's differences even within white South Africans. So that's something difficult to categorize. But I don't think there's that much of similarities between the two.
Really?
I don't think there's that much. Besides the color and the way that they live in a similar, not really similar way, but kind of a similar way. But other than that, I think white South Africans are uniquely South African in their own way.
Okay, what about the level of confidence, for example?
Level of confidence, I'd have to say Americans are more confident than South Africans.
Okay.
White people.
What about Europeans?
That also differs. So a lot of Europeans that come to South Africa, like a very large chunk. Data even has shown that the past year, the biggest group that visits South Africa are Germans.
Okay.
And they might be a little, not uptight.
Uptight is exactly how they
uptight,
are.
But when they come to when they get to South Africa and find us very chilly, very chilled, very warm and friendly, they actually warm up.
Okay.
And there's quite a number of them who decide to come and live here in South Africa, end up living in South Africa. So the whole uptight persona of theirs kind of weighs off.
Okay.
Wears off when they're here in South Africa. So they are the largest chunk of visitors, of tourists coming to South Africa, Europeans, and I can't really speak on other groups of Europeans.
What about Black Americans? Do you get a lot of Black Americans here?
Yes, we do get quite a good number, especially in the past couple of years.
Yeah.
And normally there's just a whole lot of love and connection, especially since I'd say part of our pop culture is influenced by them. So it's easy to relate to them because we've watched the TV shows, the comedy shows, we listen to a lot of the music if we're not listening to our own local music.
Yeah.
So, especially if you watch like television in South Africa, there's quite a huge chunk of American content. So it's easy to relate to each other. And I do think we do have a lot of similarities.
Yeah, history. If you look at the history, right, with segregation,
Yes.
apartheid.
But not only history and segregation, there are those things that that connect us, that we, even though we far apart from each other, we have a similar way of reasoning. Like the way that Black Americans respect their mothers is the way that South African Black people respect their mothers.
Okay.
Hygiene. There's been a lot of that conversation on the internet.
And seasoning food.
Yes, and seasoning food. So it's just, there's a lot of similarities. And I think that's something that a lot of people tend to not focus on. And focus more on the differences, which is normally very little. The differences are very small. permits and now there's no security approaching us.
I was thinking the same thing. I think sometimes when they see this huge camera and setup, they're like, okay, maybe these guys know what they're doing, you know?
Should we go down there and come back to the cups here?
I think we can go down and come back.
Oh, all of a sudden there's no security that actually need the permits. Sightseeing
The what?
bus, the red sightseeing bus offices. There.
Oh, okay. Is the permit good for just one day?
Yeah, just one day. It's for today from 11 a.m. till 6:30 p.m.
Okay.
So, yeah, we can't go that side because now it's the other shopping center, the Furs, from that corner on.
Okay. That's where we start. Because this is now a different shopping center. Okay.
taking that side or this side?
I think we can go this side and then turn.
Then we turn, go back in here, and then take the other passage out. That'll take us out closer to McDonald's.
Okay. Oh, Lord. Excuse me, excuse me. Another Starbucks.
This is the original Starbucks in the country.
Okay.
The very first one. And then it opened up everywhere else.
Is marijuana legal in South Africa?
Legalized